Mom worked for the state as a retired juvenile probation officer, juvenile justice, and social worker. I have 4 sisters, no brothers. Grew up in a small home like many Americans have. I know what it's like growing up when your power gets shut off, or the water gets shut off, the phone gets shut off. I know what it's like standing with my parents at a Sears Roebuck and Company getting the power turned on. And I've worked hard, very hard my entire life. But I have not worked any harder than anybody in this room or millions of Americans that got up this morning and went to work. And I was married at 19. I was a father at 20. And those of you who have seen my wonderful daughter on some of our commercials, I get often, I've seen your daughters on commercials. We don't care about you. We love your daughters. I'd say, okay, well, right now her last name is still Perkins, so remember that when you get to the ballots on November 9th. If that's what it takes, I'm okay with that. But I was married at 19, a father at barely 20. My first job was working on the docks at Yellow Freight. I worked at night, and I started a lawn service business in the daytime. And I did both of those jobs concurrently. And after 4 years, I was able to stop working at night. I built that company into a regional landscape management company. And Hurricane Andrew hit, and I got involved in the recovery. And from that point to where we stand today, I've built that into the largest privately held company in the United States that manages disaster response and recovery for the government. We've been all over this country. We've worked internationally with the U.S. government. Katie and Mike, you ran that project for us down there for over 3 years. But we also do other things. We do a lot of work on military bases all around this country, public works projects, environmental projects, but we're known for our disaster recovery side of our business. And I had opportunity. When I was 19, got married at 20, I had opportunity when I started my business. Small businesses, the environment for success was much more conducive than it is today. Banks were banks, community banks existed. I'd take Brittany and her sister Ashley into the banks. I'd use them as my little props. They'd come in and they'd get lollipops from the officers, and you had relationships. And, you know, I built a business. It was tough. If checks bounced, and they did. If you have a small business, you know what it's like trying to write a check on Friday and hoping to God you have money in the bank by Monday when those checks hit. But the difference was the relationships. I get a call from the office. Hey, Randy, a couple checks came in this morning. You got till 2 o'clock to cover them. We're going to have to send them back. Stop what you're doing. You run around. You discount whatever. You get money. And you get to the bank by 1:45. I made it again. Yeah. I know what it's like to get my first $5,000 credit line to cover payroll. I know what it's like to be in an environment where success was much more conducive than it is today. But as I mentioned, my daughter, Sally and I have been able to provide tremendous opportunities for our children. College educations, law degrees with no student loan debt, so they can, when they get out of school, they can follow their dreams and passions as women, and we're very proud that we've been able to do that. And I know what it's like to go from one end down here, from being on when our first daughter was born, we were on the WIC program, which provided incredible services to Siley and myself for diapers and formula and prenatal services. So I know what it's like to be on a food stamp program. I know what it's like to have Brittany and her sister Ashley born in midwives because we didn't have health insurance. But I also know what it's like to be the 1% of this country right now. And again, I've worked very hard, but if it wasn't for the luck and timing and the opportunity that I had, I wouldn't be standing in front of you today running for Congress. And I'll never forget that. And why I'm running is to provide opportunity for families like myself, our younger generations, our college graduates, for real job opportunities, real jobs with livable wages. Our families that are sending their children to college right now to find a way to get them there without having them burdened down with incredible student loan debt when they get out, so they have a running chance to get started in life. I'm a big believer in vocational education and training. That's where I came from. We need to come back to vocational education and training. We need to take the stigma in our young children that it's okay. These are some people in this room, I'm sure you come right from the same place I did. It's okay. They're great paying jobs that provide incredible careers, insurance benefits, retirement for our families, and have a great quality of life. We need to get back to those types of programs, reinvest in these things. I talk a lot about mental health issues in this country, and so anybody who's heard me from day one for the last 12 months, I've been pounding the table on what we have to do on mental health in this country. Our young children and early childhood intervention and detection, anxiety, depression, which manifests into borderline personality disorders, bipolar issues in our young children. The opioid epidemic in this country that is absolutely destroying the very fabric of this country is the way we know it. We have the third largest senior district in this country, right here in District 18. Our seniors that are suffering from an increased amount of isolation and depression. I tell this story all the time. We have community-based programs in this district that are phenomenal, the support they provide for all hosts of things, whether it's our children, our seniors, foster care programs, children that are aging out of foster care, PACE Center for Girls, which is a very important thing that right here in Fort Pierce, that our family foundation, my daughters are their mother and our executive director, are very vested in a program that provides incredible opportunity for young women who, for whatever the reasons are, it doesn't matter, an alternative program so they can go and get a high school diploma. We've met some of them, they're on their way to this other wonderful school we have, Indian River State College, for nursing programs and everything. We have to maintain these types of programs. I'm a tremendous believer in community-based programs and our faith-based programs too, our churches, and what they provide throughout the community. But Treasure Coast Food Bank, I get to talk a lot because this is my event, by the way. There's no 2-minute meter. I'm sorry, Whitney's going on, but I'm not going to start singing, I promise you that. I sing bad in the shower. But the Treasure Coast Food Bank, we were there 10 months ago. And wonderful program that provides services and meals to countless amount of people in the Treasure Coast. And there was a section on pet food. And I asked the director of the warehouse, what's with the pet food? So we noticed a few years ago that our seniors were skipping meals to feed their pets, their dogs and cats. So we started providing this service so they didn't have to make a choice to the only companion a lot of these seniors have in their life, skipping a meal to feed their pets. And when you think about the challenges that we have in this country right now, our Social Security, our Medicare systems, I'm going to go out on the limb and say I'm pretty damn sure that our seniors that have worked hard their entire life did not go into retirement like they are now, have to depend on the SNAP food stamp program for an extra $125 a month in food stamps just to get by. I'm going to go out on the limb and say that's not what they were expected when they retired. I also talk a tremendous amount about families with children with special needs, autism, and other developmental disabilities. We have 2 nieces in our family on both sides, 17 and 25, Danny and Vicky, 2 incredible special young women that just happen to have special needs. But Sally and I, again, because of the opportunity and how fortunate and blessed we are, have been able to help our families with unlimited occupational, behavioral, and speech therapy to help these 2 young women maximize the potential they have in their life. But that's us. I'm also very aware that thousands upon thousands of parents every day during their working lunch hours are on the phone with insurance companies fighting day in and day out for an extra appointment just to give their child an opportunity in life, or their loved one, and then to find out the doctor's appointment's 3 or 4 months down the road. I am not about big government. There's a lot of things that government does well, like all the incredible support that they provide our veterans, the Obamacare. There's a lot of problems we have with that system. Our own insurance company, in our own company, the rates have gone up 32%. It's costing us in our own company. But we provide 100% of insurance for the family, the employee, and their family. We pay 100% in our company. We match 401k 100%, and we have incredible benefits for leave for the employees in our company. I did not build this business by myself. We have an incredible team of men and women who help get us to where we are. So when you talk about government, I want efficient government, but there are things that we do very well that we have to maintain. We just cannot flip switches off that are going to have a negative impact on families across this country. So we need to solve the things, we need to improve the things that we do well, and we need to fix all the inefficiencies in government that we have right now. And I'll leave it with this. I promise, Brittany, I'll leave it with this. I'm a problem solver. I know how to talk to people, I know how to negotiate, I know how to find common ground outside of politics. I do not want to go to Washington, D.C. and be divisive. I don't want to call people in Congress evil. It's not a really good way to get anything done by coming into D.C. as a member of this district and already be divided with half the people, or a good portion of the people that you have to work with. And I just won't do it because I am not used to being ineffective. I'm used to getting things done. And I don't mean this next statement from any type of arrogance. Because of the opportunity that I've had and Sally have had in our lives, and the things that work for me that will never work for most people in this country, the opportunities and luck and timing that I had, I don't need a job. And I say that from a very humble, gracious standpoint. So when I go to D.C., the only special interests I have are the people in District 18 that I'm going to represent. That's Democrats, that's Republicans, and that's independents alike. We have environmental issues in this district. We can talk about those. I know more about those issues than 99% that sit in Congress right now. And those are big issues in this district, and I'm going to tackle those issues head on. But I also aware that in this district and in this country, there are children that go to bed every single night without food, and parents wondering how I'm going to feed them the next day. So yes, we've got a whole host of issues. I'm going to focus on the issues that we have in District 18, and because those are the people that I represent when I get to Washington, D.C. So thank you for taking a few minutes, and I appreciate it.
I just want to thank Master Chief Corona